Elephant in Main Street International presents Izindlovu FM. Izindlovu FM, where we empower our listeners. We discuss the hot topics. We confront the relevant issues. We ask the right questions. Be a part of the movement that is Izindlovu FM and help change the world. The power of unity, the home of growth. Izindlovu FM. Be empowered.
Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of Izindlovu FM, where today we'll be discussing design thinking. First, let me introduce you to Seth Tamlin over here. Say hi, Seth.
What is up, guys? This is Seth.
So, Seth has been with Elephants and with the team for a very long time, and he is one of the greatest designers we have on our team. So, Seth, before we kick off, tell me, what does design thinking mean to you?
Okay, so I suppose if you're an ordinary person walking in the street, it really sounds like an interesting word. I mean, design thinking, what does it really mean? So I suppose to me, design thinking really means to be human-centered or living your life centric to human, so a human-centric approach, so really immersing ourselves within humanity, within real problems in the world, in the street, on the ground level, within organizations. So really it's designing solutions and looking at problems with a human-centric approach. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. That's hitting the nail on the head. So I completely agree with you. Design thinking is all about being human-centric. It's about the user experience. And I'd like you to tell us a bit about how we at Elephants have taken design thinking approach and used it in our products to create our user experiences and make them better than the rest. I mean, we've moved from the typical hop and skip of, how do I put it, team building, and we've created a completely new experience that's not only cost effective, it's also effective when it comes to engaging the delegates and the clients and getting across the messages we need. So tell us a bit about the design thinking at Elephants.
Cool. Well, absolutely. And I think before we even get there, it's just talking about who we are as Elephants, what we do and what our core is, maybe some of our values and how we actually come to deliver such innovative events, such innovative products within the industry, and where did it all start, or how does this thinking start? So if you look at what design thinking is, or what a good designer is of something that will really help people or create a turning point within their organization, it's something that is or it's a designer that is potentially very open-minded, they're observant, they're a very good listener, and they're also very curious. So even when we're hiring people, we like to hire people who are very curious. Even if you look at, I'm busy creating a short article on culture and company culture, they say there that you must always hire people who are curious, because it leads to lots of great questions, and questions are the cornerstone, the key of design thinking. If you can ask the right questions, if you can go out into organizations and see what their real needs are and start asking the right questions, that's when we really get to great design thinking and starting to deliver innovative products. So going back to your question, I think at Elephants we've really used this concept of design thinking to really create innovative, high impact experiences within teams. And if you, exactly like you said, I mean, maybe when we started Elephants 30 years ago, we had the hopping, skipping, jumping maybe for a short while, and we realized, no, let's put on our design thinking hats and really think. Let's immerse ourselves within our organizations. Instead of just doing something fun and quick once off, let's really look and immerse ourselves within the organization. Immersion is a huge part of design thinking. Let's immerse ourselves and let's go do audits, let's do pre-course questionnaires, whatever it might be. Let's immerse ourselves in the client's organization and move from that hopping, skipping and jumping to actually delivering a real product of value that can really create a turning point within an organization's life.
100%. I really agree with you there, Seth. And to touch on what you mentioned there, I think it's really important as a design thinker that we immerse ourselves in the situation. We have to immerse ourselves. We have to observe, as you mentioned, observe what it is actually that people need. What is it that our clients need? At the end of the day, it's about what their needs and how they are met, how we exceed their needs, and then how we engage with the clients or the delegates, how we take that hop skip and turn it into an actual turning point, something that's high impact and innovative, which is something we do very well. Like what I like about design thinking and the theory behind it is it's no longer about the technology. It's about the people. As you mentioned, it's human-centric. So what makes the technology that we create or we develop so usable and enjoyable?
We don't have a product that is a one size fits all, that a one glove fits all. And this is what makes Elephant so exciting. So all the technologies that we develop and apply within organizations, it's not just a shotgun approach or a one size fits all approach. We go in and we customize each piece of technology, each solution, so that it will actually be truly effective within our client's organization. And if you look at something like maybe our newsroom or our talent maximizer, our blog it baby, music video, even our game show, all of these interventions have been designed around building to think, the concept of building to think. So it makes people think, and it makes people empathize with the true problems that they're having within their organization, or the true solutions that they might want to start thinking about. Really, we design interventions with the purpose of building to help people think.
And I like the fact that you use the word empathize. I mean, that is a core fundamental of being a design thinker. I mean, as the process goes, you have to empathize, you have to define, after empathizing and understanding the needs, you have to define what is it that actually needs to be done. You have to put a label to it, then ideate, consider how you are actually going to tackle these problems, prototype these methods that you plan on implementing, and then test. On prototypes, tell us about some of the prototypes that you've actually experienced and how they've worked within Elephants over the years.
Yeah, so I suppose even as we move forward into this 21st century, 22nd century, you really always have to have a prototype first. And what this really means is we will go and create a product, and we'll just test it internally. There's a couple of tests that we're even running at the moment with our clients. We're running a radio station. We have launched the Big Ears Trust. If you look at Cartermaster's Formula for Winning, all of these started as prototypes, and in fact everything was a prototype. I mean, we were first doing running, jumping, hopping and skipping, and we saw that didn't work. So we took that prototype and we adapted and we learned from there. And just going back to the idea of empathizing, we always make sure that we want to understand the problem, we want to understand the people, and we also want to understand what users think and feel. And these are all keys, or the key to Elephants, and our willingness to really prototype ideas early is the fact that we are willing to empathize with our clients and go and immerse ourselves inside their organizations.
Yeah, I think it's a very important part of our process, the prototypes. And what I love about our prototyping process is throughout the whole process of anything, actually, is how we collaborate. We're always asking each other questions. What can we do better? How can we change this? What can we do to make it easy? And I think once you have the perfect product, it's an opportunity for you to see how you can make it better, because nothing actually is perfect. This type of thinking, this type of methodology that we use and integrate in our daily lives is what led us to reinventing team building. And that's why we offer such diverse products, as you mentioned. So tell me, Seth, as a designer yourself, what is your process of designing something?
My approach to designing is, or at least our approach to designing at Elephants, is always about, as I mentioned in the beginning, is the first step is to make sure you are asking the right questions. Once you are asking the right question, this unlocks the potential for developing almost something absolutely great, absolutely wonderful for your client. And along with asking those questions, we are faced with the challenge of realizing that basically old team building in its sense has almost run its course.
Again, it just falls back to design thinking. How can we take something and make it better? How can we change the way that it's conventionally done and make it more effective? We need it's a shift from passive relationships to something that's, how do I put it, a structure of engagement. and it's engagement for everyone, if I can put it that way. And it's a great example that you used there, Seth. I also think that it's a divergent approach. You know, we have to let go of the past, and we have to look to what the new generation is looking towards, and how do we connect with them? How do we make an impact in their lives?
That's correct, and that would be something like a meaningful, a productive, and a profitable relationship. I mean, even if you look at something like, just talking about relationships, you look at something like our Elephants Facebook page, Elephants in Main Street Friends. Please go give it a follow. Have a look at the conversations that are happening there. Have a look at solutions for South Africa. That is where the design thinking starts. And maybe for our listeners, we can probably challenge them. If you're really looking, or you're trying to find a solution, or you're just trying to basically think in a different way where you can really immerse yourself in this human-centric approach and really just help people in this world, maybe we can leave them with the 4 thoughts. We at Elephants encourage you, if you're thinking of creating a solution for somebody, the way we do it is, again, as I said in the beginning, just go back to those 4 points. Be open-minded, be observant, be a good listener, and be curious. Just once a day, practice those things. Being open-minded, go and observe someone in the park. If you can do those 4 things, we believe that is the start of design thinking, and then come up with great questions so that we can start thinking big and designing big and really creating change within our country.
That's exactly it, Seth. Design thinking is all about thinking big. Thank you very much for your time today, Seth. Thank you all, guys, for listening, and look out for episode 3.
The power of unity, the home of growth, is in Ndlovu FM. Be empowered.